Hi, I'm Lars. Welcome back to the shop or office. I'm putting together a video series. I got a couple of my friends that are starting to work in NCH Video Pad. It's the video editor that I use to put our YouTube videos out on our channel. And I thought maybe it might be a good idea just to share some knowledge of what I have learned, because there's very little knowledge out there on NCH Video Pad. It's a relatively inexpensive tool. You can either buy it for like the every year and renew it, or you can do a one-time package, and that's what we did. I think it's about $100. So not super expensive, not, you know, really cheap, but it's still $100. But it does do a lot of things for you. It lets you do your transitions that you see through our videos. It lets you do picture-in-picture, which is, you know, video instead of video. You can pop things up. You can do a variety of things. This first video is just about the basics of it. Yeah, they do have some tutorials out on their website, but they're really not that good. And I just think, you know, putting something together with what I've learned, because, you know, I know the questions are going to be coming in, and this gives everybody a good reference of how to use it. So without further ado, let's start off the series right now. So for the first part of this, the first thing we need to do is we need to be able to add in videos or audio. So you can click here, add files. You can go chase this down if you want, and it will pick up anything, you know, common files, common videos, other common image files, audio files. Or what I like to do is I just like to go to my directory, grab whatever I want to drag and drop it in. Now this here will come in with this adding files. And there they are. So once you have your video, your audio, your images, you can add these on the fly if you want to the project. There's nothing wrong with that. Do yourself a favor and save this project. And I'm putting this under project here, so I'm just going to call this Project Basics, because this is just about the basics. And that will get saved off. Now, on the think about this as this thing here on the left hand side is your library. You can reduce this, you can switch this to a list view if you want. I kind of like it like this. This is your clip preview. You can do a sequence preview, you can do video tutorials. There's a ton of tutorials out here you can go and look through. Down at the bottom is your sequence or your video that you're trying to create. So if you want to view one of these, like let's just take this one here. Okay, this is the one where we were working on the back porch of our house, and this here is where all the gravel is. If you want to see it play, you can hit play. And this is shot from a drone that my neighbor has. So he's a pretty good drone operator, as you will see in this video. But the big thing about this is, say you only want portions of this video, okay? So if you come down through here and you notice at first it just kind of sat there for a second. When you're making videos for YouTube, people just don't want to see a still picture. They want to see it moving. So if you're looking at this, you can kind of bring this up to this point and say, oh, there we go, we're starting to move. And you can hit set start. And I want to see, you know, I don't know, let's say about 10 seconds of this. So you're going to run this guy up. Here's your little counter, and you're going to get around 10 seconds. And I could set the end. Now this is the amount of video that I want to bring down into my sequence. So here I can do an add. Now you can add at the start, add a sequence at the cursor, like an insert. You can do on the end, or you can add a sequence as an overlay of where the cursor's at. I usually keep it at the end, because I'm always adding to the end and working down my video. So we're just going to work on this guy here. So now that it's in here and I'm clicked down on this bottom section, now I get a bunch of different buttons on there. So this is the beginning of the video, this is the end of the video. You'll see the cursor will move, the red cursor. You can go to the next edge, which for our case right now is just the end or the beginning. You can go to the next frame, and this will take it frame by frame. Go previous frame, or you can just hit play, and it will play what you have. So unlike the last one, we're going to take this and we're going to add the entire video in. So there's a lot of this here that we don't want. Alright, so we don't need all this information here. So let's just go up to what we think. I think I'd like to start recording like right about here. And I'm going to hit split, and then I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to hit delete ripple. Now what that did is that just deleted the section between the last video into where my split was. Okay, so we want to come up to this point right about here. This looks pretty good. Maybe, yeah, like that. Okay, so that's even better. So let's take from here, like this. Let's put a split in there. And let's take this down to, like, say, right about here. I'm going to put a split in there. And I'm going to right click and delete the ripple. And I'm going to right click and delete the ripple. If I just do a delete here, I'm not deleting the point. I'm just deleting that point of the video. I'm not moving this down. If I say delete ripple, it'll bring it all the way down. So at this point, you're seeing a video that is coming through like this, and then we're switching. Now that abrupt switch, I'm going to play that again, is very irritating to a viewer. Okay, your brain likes to see things flow naturally through a production, like a movie. If a movie was just jumping all over the place, you wouldn't want to watch it. You get a headache from it. You start getting a little nauseous from it. So what we have is we have these beautiful things called transitions. So if you click on this little button right here, this little X, it says add video transition. There's also a transition button at the top that you can put in. Alright? But I like using this here because I know it's in between. I like to use crossfades during my, like when I'm going from one scene to another, or crossfade. And a blur, sometimes if I have a little faux pas with my words or whatever, I'll just kind of throw a blur in there and just kind of mute the audio. But what you want to do is you want to use the same kind of transitions. Don't be the person that goes through and says, oh, I'm going to do this in one transition, this on another. I'm going to come back here and throw this hard in, because these all look really cool. I tend to do a flip at the beginning of my videos, going from my intro into my, like, my intro video where, Lars Workshop starting up. I'll do a flip into me talking, and I'll also do a flip at the very end when I'm going from my exiting words to the end of the video where the music starts and everything for the video again. And I'll show you how to make something like that up in the next video as to how you're going to save off a sequence. But page curls, shutters, you just don't want these to be too random. You want to keep them in some sort of a pattern. At least that's what I've done, and people that have watched my videos have commented, say, yeah, I like the way you're flowing. Something else you can do here with these is if you have a section of this, like maybe this section right here, right? So you want, this section right here, and you want to split all tracks. So you're going to split that side, and so I'm going to split this side here, right? So there's really no change. You don't really see any difference in the video. If it was playing, you wouldn't notice anything that had happened. All right, we're not doing a transition, is what I'm trying to say. So you're not going to see this. But what you can do in this section here is you can say change the clip speed. So say I want that to go to 300. Notice the video portion decreased. So what this does is instead of showing the video at 30 frames per second, you're going to see 10 frames per second. So what it gives you the illusion of is that it sped through it. Okay, so it went through it really quick. Now let me go back to putting this back to normal at 100, and you'll see how much time we took out of this. Okay, so you can speed up little areas. So for instance, for things that we do, if we're cutting a lot of wood, or we might have, like, when we put together this, there's a bench that's outside of our hot tub now. If we're cutting a lot of wood, or we're just putting screws in or doing some sanding or something like that on a piece of wood, I'll just speed all that up, and then I'll take the sound portion of it and I'll reduce it a little bit, and that just makes things a little more interesting. Something else you can do here is you can add text. So if I wanted to add some text in here, so just do a simple overlay, and you can change your background title. Just remember, once you change this, it's wherever this dot is. So initially your dot's going to be up here, so no matter what you do, your new is always going to be white. So let's say we move this into the blue. Title text, I always say make it offset, but anything you want to put in here. If you want to say wonderful job or something like that, just watch how long these get, because you want to give people enough time to see it. You also want to give people enough time to like, if you put too much, it'll run off the screen. Like it says wonderful job. If I want to extend that out, I can extend this out longer. So you can adjust this or you can cut it short. So make sure you just make it long enough so that the people that are watching your video can read it. Something else you can do, let's put a picture-in-picture like here in the beginning. So I'm going to move the video down about here. Say we want to put our YouTube channel logo right here, like the splash screen. So I come in here, say an overlay image, and I say splash screen. Well, that's awful big. So what you need to do is you need to go to right here where you're at, and you need to hit FX on that overlay image and say picture in picture, and that's going to drop that in. Now you need to look at your base X, because I think originally, before I started anything here, is it sitting over here like that, or it might be all the way down here. Yeah, it's probably over here. So you just need to move your base X over to where you want it, and then hit close. And now if you back up your video to the beginning and you hit play, you'll get your little picture in picture. This can be a video, it can be an image, it can be anything you want. You can move these around wherever you want to. Okay? So like if I wanted to put this down here someplace again, I could move it down there. Or I believe you can right click on this and say copy, and then I can take this and paste it. Say I want to paste it right there. Boom. So I can put this in a couple different spots. So I can do that. So I don't have to keep on importing that same image over and over again. And you may think that you want to put this at the beginning of this back here, and you might want it at the end of your video. So that's really cool, right? Well, in the next part of the series, the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually build a sequence with music and everything else, what we did for our shop, what we did for our YouTube channel. I'm going to show you how I made that, and then you can just have those as videos right here to drop in, and they have everything that you need to do. So you can build a sequence and create a video of it by having an image, adding music to it, or adding other images to it. So the last thing I really want to talk about here is doing exports. Now, there is an export tab which has portable video, Blu-ray, DVD, YouTube, and you might think right off the bat, let me grab YouTube because that's where I'm going to. The problem I have with this is none of this stuff here gets set. My descriptions, my categories, my privacy mode, this does not get stored anywhere. It's always going to come out as YouTube 720, which is fine because you can just go to, hey, I want to do YouTube 4K and be happy with it and move on. But if you forget this and you have a video that's 50 minutes long or 30 minutes long and you hit create, it's going to literally take, it could take up to 2 hours to get uploaded to YouTube, and then they do their their video checks and they check everything out, and the next thing you know, your video is only playing in 720. And everyone is starting to send you comments or emails saying, hey, I'm trying to watch this and it's only in 720, I want to see it in 4K or 1080p. So I don't recommend doing this type of an export. I do recommend just doing a video export. This will auto match your content to the video, to your
your computer's screen, your video card that you're using. Or, it's very easy to come through here and say, I want, 3480 by 1920 or 2160 or whatever you want. Just kick this out. It doesn't matter what this is. Your folder, you can set your folder to something. If you want this defaulted someplace else, I'll show you how to do that. Letterbox is what you'd like to have. You don't need crop and zoom. MP4 is fine, and just hit create, and then you'll end up creating your file. If you want to move any of the stuff around, look at your audio options, look at media, look at editing, export. Like I say, here's where your folders are going to get exported to. You can change that. Once you hit OK, it will change permanently. Here's all your disk stuff, like captured video, captured audio, save recorded narratives to here. This is all fine. I usually put them in the directory that I'm using currently. And the reason I do that is because I like to keep all this stuff together. I don't want it all over my computer. I want it in a directory that I can pick up and I can put on another in another location and then pick it up from there. I don't want it to all be on one machine. Your display shows your start screen. You can open whatever. So look at all your options that are in here and get them set up the way you'd like.
So now that we've been through that video, I hope you've learned something about how to use the software. I am nowhere near affiliated by this with NCH Video Pad or anybody, but I do think they have a pretty viable tool for doing quick and easy changes to a video for YouTube or any videos that you want to make. The future videos, the next one that's going to come out that I'm going to put together is how to create the opening sequence like I have in the beginning of our videos. And then after that, I'm going to get into more details of, how to do things like blend in, like move an image in and pan an image out. You guys noticed that when Susan does a lot of her laser videos, pretty much all of them, she has a video camera, which what I'm recording on right now, plus she's using a tool on the Windows computer to capture XCS, and we kind of need to blend the XCS stuff with the camera. So NCH, the video pad portion of this, allows it to seamlessly interchange between the two of them. It does take a little bit of work, but it's things that I figured out along, like over the last year. So hopefully you'll continue on this journey and learn more about NCH's video pad. And you're always welcome back in the shop. And as always, have a nice day.